Hi, my name is Annamieka Hops, and this is the Art Friends Show, where every conversation focuses on getting to know the essence of creativity itself. I'd love to invite you as well to join me inside of Art Friends School, where we go deeper into these topics and join in with other art friends around the world. Thanks so much for joining us, and let's get to the show. Hello, and welcome to the Art Friends Show. I'm Annamieka, and this is Rae West from Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, joining us today to talk about how she makes artworks with a resin and a grand scale, her travels and the inspiration there, and also the moment that she started to create with the material. So, Rae, why don't you just take us into your studio and show us what you love to make?
Okay, nice to be here. Thank you for having me, Annamieka. Okay, so this is I actually live beside my studio. I built a purpose-built giant shed. So half of the shed is where I live, and this is where I spend most of my time, which is
Amazing.
So I work with resin and ink and gold leaf. So I love to work large scale.
Wow.
So here are my work tables.
Beauty.
So I've got two big round pieces that I've just gold leafed. I tend to use the gold leaf in my work for the base colour, and then I layer up tinted resin over top, and that creates kind of a life and texture. So this one here in front of me here is it's got gold leaf on it and then a tinted resin, and this is part of my retro vibe series, which I love. I love mid-century aesthetic, and that's what I do here. So
that shape, that kind of rectangular shape with the rounded edges, feels very mid-century modern.
Yeah,
you know, that's so cool. Yeah, it reminds me of, like, for years I did a lot of surfing, and my friends were shapers, and they would be working on boards and painting boards and layering like fiberglass and resin on them. It's like you're building these objects that are so durable. What's it like to work in those materials?
The resin is delicious to work with. It's non-toxic resin that it actually comes from Texas. It's called art resin. It's a beautiful product to work with. I buy it, I import it. And
oh, look at that gold leaf you have in your hand.
Yeah, awesome. Gold leaf everywhere. It's like a gold snow cone on the floor here. But the resin is gorgeous to work with, and I like to layer it up. So I'll let it set overnight, and then I'll do another tinted layer, and so you get these kind of veils of color coming through.
Oh, yeah.
So quite sensual, really. And you can't be in too much control. You have to kind of have an idea of the shape you want, like on these blobs here. But really kind of let go of what exactly it's going to look like. I've got a couple of little pieces here too. So on the go.
This is beauty.
They're my little what I call my ginger kisses. They're
ginger
kind of
kisses.
Like a little pop of colour, like sort of pop out. And then I'm into kisses. I did a whole series on kisses, and they've been really popular. And so I've also done cutouts. See that cutout?
Is that like the letter X signifying kiss? In your text? That's awesome.
And that's what I hang them like that. Yeah.
Cool. That's so sweet. I love that. So tell us about the moment that you decided to start working with resin, Rae.
So I was working with acrylics, doing sort of detailed, beautiful acrylic on canvas work with a little bit of gold leaf, and mostly based around New Zealand's birds and butterflies and botanical imagery, sort of the flora and fauna. And I love doing those, and I loved also doing the backgrounds a lot, like the sort of the washes of background before you start putting the detail of the birds in. And I was finding I was actually enjoying that part of the process more. Then about 6 years ago, the non-toxic resin came onto the market, and you could finish your work with that beautiful clear resin, which I just fell in love with. And then I looked
Beauty.
online actually, and I could see that people were using the resin to paint with, and that got me
Oh.
super excited. And
Mm-hmm.
since then, that just catapulted me. I completely changed my style and started playing with
Yeah.
in the inks, the colors that you
Mm-hmm.
ink them up with. And when I first started, a lot of my work kind of looked a lot like sort of what a lot of resin artists look like, just
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, sort of imitating what they were doing. And now I think I've
Mm-hmm.
found kind of my own kind of style with the layering
Yeah.
and the sort of the mid-century modern feel and the cutouts, and so I'm having a ball with this resin, I tell you.
Awesome. That's so
Yeah,
fun.
I'm gonna
Oh
go
my
sit down.
goodness. Yes, get yourself comfortable.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for taking us into your studio.
pleasure.
I think as this show is for artists by artists, making friends with our creativity, each other, and so I want to see your paintings, look under them, see how you're
Yeah.
making them, all of that. Yeah, and so also it sounds like you were painting a lot of birds and New Zealand type imagery, and now you've made this incredible pivot to these large mid-century modern shapes and things like that. What's it like to completely transform the visual look and feel of your work?
It was a bit scary to start with because I didn't know, because I was quite well established in New Zealand. I do have about 15 galleries that represent me throughout New Zealand, but probably
Uh-huh.
five core galleries. And
Mm-hmm.
some of those galleries I'd been with for, 10, 15 years. So to
Yeah.
so to sort of like suddenly go, right, I'm now an abstract artist was
Yeah.
a leap of faith for them. But the
Wow, that's awesome.
but because I think, one, I really do value my relationship with my galleries, that they were willing to give it a go, and
Mm-hmm.
the market in New Zealand, it's a very small population. We're probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 million, but New Zealanders
Mm-hmm.
are really good art buyers. So
Mm, cool.
that, luckily,
Mm-hmm.
and the works did resonate with the art lover. So
Yeah.
luckily,
Cool.
and I find that with the resin now, it's the possibilities are endless. Like, it's always,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just painting a little bird on a canvas, this sort of lights me up. I can
Yeah.
make mistakes, I can push the limits, I can experiment. Yeah, yeah, I love
Yeah. That's so cool. I love it. I love the sense of letting go of some of the control, that you were saying with that medium. Oh,
yeah.
you've got another little kiss there. A
Yeah.
ginger kiss. Mwah.
You can see
It's
I
awesome.
get these all made for me, okay, so I
Uh-huh.
don't have to make them up. And then you can
Mm-hmm.
see how the gold leaf just starts to light them up and make them really kind of
Mm-hmm.
sort of alive, really. I love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
So we were connecting in preparation for this interview, and you mentioned that you spend time
A mile wide, but
uh-huh.
it's full of people and full of tourists, and lots of things going on. But the water's 28 degrees. It's clear. There's these
Mm,
beautiful coral reefs that you can just snorkel just off the shore,
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
colours and the shapes of the coral were it's just mind boggling.
Oh,
And
amazing.
yeah, so I feel like I do work hard when I'm at home. I really kind of focus quite a lot on my art, and it's nice to have that headspace and that time to
Hmm.
sort of just decompress and then regroup and have some headspace to think about
Yeah.
what what I'm going to do when I get back and get in the studio. And so I
Mm-hmm.
feel very lucky that I'm able to work there. So I've just come back from 4 months in
Wow. Over
yeah,
New Zealand's winter, you
yeah,
were there?
yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's so I traveled to Indonesia when I was 17, and I spent several days taking a batik painting workshop um, from a man in Ubud, Bali. Well, really, his
Yes,
whole
yes.
family was teaching in the operation, and it really transformed my way of thinking about painting because we were working in layers of resist and dip dye and resist and dip dye, and just the way that art making. I know that Bali is a really particular culture inside of Indonesia, which is
Beautiful.
a huge diverse country, but it forever changed my art making sensibility, and it's just so cool to hear that you have found this spot that it obviously lights you up so much, and you've also developed a way of working over, did you say 14 years, with these galleries where you
Yeah.
get them stocked and then you can leave the country for 4 months? Like, way to
Yeah.
go. That's wild.
Yeah.
What happens with this house? So you built a house that's a
Yeah.
living space and a workspace. How long have you been there? What's the deal with that?
Oh, so I do have a house in the front, and it just had a
Yeah.
big long property, so it had a lot of space. And so and before that, I was just working in a small garage underneath the house, cold and dusty and
What's a
horrible.
garage?
Oh, it's like a
Oh,
weird
garage,
kind of
garage,
car. Yeah, yeah,
garage.
yeah. That's my
Sorry.
Kiwi accent.
They don't let me out of Oregon. I
Yeah,
don't. Got it,
but
got it, got
yeah. So
it. I'm kidding.
I saved my money, saved my art money, and built these lovely. We work in meters, so it's there's two lovely big sheds, 80 square meter and another 60 square meter. But
Yeah.
they're just like Anyway, they've just
Cool.
a game changer for me when it comes to work wise. And so I realized
Yeah.
if I just put a little like one bedroom apartment in one end of the shed, I
Hmm.
call it, I would be able to rent out my house. And
Brilliant.
so that's another kind of passive income idea. And I live
Yeah.
by the sea. It's beautiful, like the views, the sun rises over the sea, and it's just magical here.
Oh,
Little village
wow.
called Homoana, which means sea breeze. So yeah.
Mm,
So and then I've got this pussycat, so I get someone to come and look after the pussycat and live here
yeah.
on the way.
Oh,
But I
great. So I'll be house sitting with my daughter for you.
well, that's the thing. Like, I've got all these beautiful art studios, so
That's so
art
cool.
studios spaces that are available, like for someone to do
Yeah.
like in 4 months. Come here for 4 months and while I'm
Residency.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
all I need
awesome.
to do is look after my pussycat.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds like an incredible life that you've built for yourself where you have, your art and you're supported and you can travel.
yeah,
Um, that is wonderful to hear and really inspiring.
yeah,
I'm at a different life stage, and
yeah.
it sounds like you've really claimed your joy.
Yes, yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah, I don't know how, sometimes you don't know quite how these things happen, but sometimes you just go with the flow and make
yes.
luck and work hard.
Make
But
your own luck.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
totally. If someone's tuning into this and they are like, a lot of the people who tune into the Art Friend Show are emerging artists, or
yeah,
they're maybe even not ready to call themselves an artist, but they have that like intensely yearning part of themselves, so they're gonna go for it. That's kind of my mission, is to share these conversations so that people will get engaged with
yeah.
their own creativity and make their art. So if you had any advice for people listening in at that point in their journey, what would you want to share, or with a younger version of yourself, for
Yeah.
example?
I think, well, definitely, obviously, do follow that passion because it'll light you up every day. Yeah,
Hmm.
and also value yourself, and
Yes.
value yourself and be professional. Especially when approaching galleries. Be professional. Do your homework. Don't just arrive. Make an appointment. And build up
Yeah.
rapport with just one or two galleries, and really, because
Mm.
galleries they want to sell your work, but they
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to rely on you to produce the work, for it to be a constant, like you're not just going to do a couple of paintings and then disappear on them.
Right.
Maybe you're
Yeah.
going to be positive about commission work, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So really like obviously act on the impulse, but when you mention value ourselves, it's also being professional. We are professionals, and so when you're interfacing with a gallery, it's important to value that and like do all the things that make you easy to work with. Do your
Yeah.
research, be reliable, be a partner in it, right? Because I always think of a gallery or any type of representation, like I've been, in alliances with arts nonprofits over my career, and they're the hub of a community of people, whether they're collectors or buyers or art patrons. And so you're really like on a team together with any type of representation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good communication. Yeah. Don't be afraid to
Mm-hmm.
talk to them. Yeah. Ask
Yeah.
what they need or want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. Cool. Well, I'm really inspired by getting this glimpse into your life, and I'm excited to share it with the world. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming onto the Art Friend Show, Rae. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it was a pleasure, and you're doing such a great job. I'm really inspired by you. You're just fantastic. There's a lot of artists out there that are going to get a lot out of you and what you're giving to everyone and creating.
Thanks. Yeah, this is one of those things that I just finally did it. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to do it for so long and it was way too complex. And so just all the people that participated in the first season helped me launch it. And now we're doing the second season and I just can't wait to see where it goes. I'm finally back at that place in my own creative process where I like can't wait to get up tomorrow to keep working on it. And this show has been a part of getting there. So I thank you, like
Yeah.
really thank you for participating. All
Awesome.
right, my dear. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
I'd love to have you inside of Art Friend School, where we go deeper into these topics. Follow the link that's in the show notes or find it on my website at annamieka.com.